Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. So, a couple of things. I had a Big Brother program when I was a kid, which my mom signed me up for. So, as I said in the other video, I never really got to be a child. I had a Big Brother. His name was Joe Ragnol. Shout out to Joe Ragnol, who has children. He's a doctor, etc., etc. He will always be my big brother. He will always be family. Joe Ragnol's never going to see this, but if he does, I love you, Joe. I was doing martial arts since I was 7. I met Joe Ragnol when I was about 8 years old. Joe Ragnol was a University of Virginia student from New York City. He had a shiny, bright red convertible car. Now, our first year, he didn't have the red convertible. We caught the bus everywhere, the student bus. And we went places. We went to games. We went to haunted houses, which I'm sure Joe Ragnol has not forgotten this, because I haven't forgotten this. This is really good. This is when I found out that I actually was fairly decent with my martial arts. Or, this is living proof that a scared person can beat anybody. So, Joe Ragnol, this didn't traumatize me, by the way, Joe. We're good. We're really good. Thank you for this. We went to this haunted house. It was like Halloween weekend or some shit. And Joe had bought me my first Thundercat, by the way. He bought me Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats. I still have that, Joe. And it still works. It still works. It's in that shed somewhere. Anyway, so we went to this haunted house. And they had a fire-breathing dragon. It was a man in a dragon suit. He only had a dragon head. And it shot fire out. And they put it in a cage. So all the kids walked through. And somehow or another, he's like, we're taking kids and we're putting them in the cage to see what happens. Joe didn't know that I knew karate. So, the guy in the cage didn't know either. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I don't know if that guy's okay. I know he probably learned a very valuable lesson about putting kids in cages, especially kids of color. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to get that out. I had to get that laugh out. So Joe volunteered me, and they put me in the cage. And the guy started shooting fire. What Joe also didn't know is that I'm hyperly afraid of fire. Or at least I was, because back when I was 7, after getting bit by the horse, my family would have bonfires during the summer, and I was constantly peeing in the bed. Alright? And every time I saw fire, I constantly pee in the bed. Who knew 3 years later at 10 I'd be like addicted to fire and become like a pyromaniac? But this is when I was 8. So, he put me in a cage. The guy starts spitting fire. Fireballs everywhere. And there wasn't enough fire to like burn down the house, but there's just a short burst. And I think he had like mechanisms in his hands, because he had like funny looking hand glove things, and he had a big dragon face. But it was like a Chinese dragon, like those nomads type things. And he shoot fire at the sides. Smoke would come out of his nose, but fire shoot out the sides. It never came out the front, just shoot out the sides. And they put me in the cage with him. First thing I did was freak the fuck out. And I couldn't get the cage open. Everybody on the other side, including Joe, all laughing their asses off. The guy kept getting closer and closer, and I turned around. And he got within striking distance, and I gave it to him. Boom! I kicked him dead in his shit. And he went down, and I said, boom! And I kicked him again. And so, he was like, ah! Fire shot out one last time. And he got kicked again. So I kicked him twice. Get him out! Get him out right now! Get him out! Get him out! So they got me out of the cage. Joe was shocked. Everybody else was shocked. I wasn't shocked because I was scared as fuck. Fire. Fire-breathing man dragon. I didn't know it was a mask. I figured it out later when Joe explained to me that it was not supposed to go down like that. You were only supposed to get scared for like 5 minutes, and then we were going to let you out. You were never in any really danger. 8-year-old kids don't know that. But a lot of grown people don't know that 8-year-old kids from the projects know how to fight. Oh, God. But anyway, after they got out of the cage, and they explained everything to me. I did not ever go back to the haunted stuff, and Joe learned not to take me to places where I could actually engage in combat. He also didn't know that on weekends that I didn't deal with Joe, my uncles had me and they had me fighting. So that would explain how all of it comes together. But yeah, Joe found out. So Joe only took me to like soccer games and football games at the University of Virginia before they got the new stadium. Before they got the new stadiums. I wasn't big on basketball. Joe and I played catch with the football a lot. We worked out plans and everything. And I mean, this man came and got me almost every other weekend. So to Joe Ragnol, thank you. Thank you for keeping me from going into the bad life of the project kids in the streets and shit like that. This man was my big brother from the age of 8 until I was like 12 or 13. And I swear to God, when we were like our last day together, I never knew that I would never see him again. But he reached out to me on Facebook at least once. So Joe, if you see this, thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you very fucking much, man. You made a big difference in my life. I know you have 2 children now, and I hope that they know how much of a good man you are. I hope they know how great you were before you brought them into this world, and how great you were for a little lost kid who was a grown man trapped in a world where he didn't have a say, he didn't have a voice, but he knew how to kick people in the fucking face and the nuts a lot. Anyway, thank you, Joe Ragnol. I apologize to the guy in the dragon mask. I am sorry. In my defense, I was 8 years old. In your defense, I know you did not know that I knew karate. However, thank God I know that the shit works. Anyway, that being said, I am Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you.